Can you look at the camera? Oh, you're looking outside. Oh, you're so cute. Okay, you look very unhappy. Okay, so I'm gonna put you down now because you look so grumpy. Hey guys, and welcome to my channel. Today we're gonna be talking about my April TBR, and we're gonna be doing something a little bit different this month. So I am a mood reader. So most of the time I'll make like a small TBR, mostly books that I know I definitely will get to because that's the type of mood I'm in at that moment. Most of the time that means books that I've bought months or years previous, I end up not reading. I have so many books on my shelf that have just been sitting on my shelf for a really long time. So this month I'm going to let my book boxes decide my TBR. So after I show you what books my book boxes decide for my TBR, we're going to be rolling to decide a few other books based on some prompts for Tome Topple. Sam over at Thoughts on Tomes, love her channel, I believe is hosting round 16 in this month. I think it said it starts on like April 15th. So I'm going to be following after her and actually rolling for it using a D20, which is kind of terrifying because I looked at the prompts beforehand and there are definitely quite a few that I don't want to roll. And then I don't know if I have books for, so like I have plenty of graphic novels, but they're short. I don't think I have any tome graphic novels. I think my longest graphic novel is Lore Olympus, and that'll be a reread for me, which is fine. I really like Lore Olympus, but I don't think it's over 500 pages. So when we get to that, we will see what happens. But let's start with my book boxes picking my TBR for this month. So I get Fairyloot, Illumicrate for now, Unplugged book box, Young Adult, and Owlcrate. I don't know how much longer I'm gonna have Illumicrate because it is very expensive to ship to the US. And it's a lot. I mean, I love the designs on their books, but the shipping is outrageous. It's the cost of like a special edition box, and I don't get too many of those, so I really don't know how much longer I'll have them. But since I currently get them and I will be getting their April box, I'm gonna try and read the books that I haven't read. My rules for the book boxes picking my books is I have to have them already on my shelf. 2022 is all about clearing out my shelves. I've been pretty good this year about not buying a ton of books. It still hasn't been as good as it probably should be, but I'm trying to clear my books off my shelves. So every month in my trusty reading journal, I write down what box I'm getting, the book for that box so I don't accidentally go out and buy the book, and I write down the fandoms to see how many I know. So we're gonna start with Fairyloot first. So Fairyloot in April is, the theme is bittersweet. I'm not gonna tell you the books because some people like being spoiled for the books, and it's not really relevant to this video. So we're just gonna focus on the fandoms. So the fandoms in this box are going to be The Night Circus, Strange the Dreamer, and Addie LaRue. I have all three of those books, and I have not read any of them. So all three of those are on my list, and I will be trying to read them this month. Come on! Come on! Hi, Chaz. Hi. Can you look at the camera? Oh, you're looking outside. Oh, you're so cute. Okay, you look very unhappy. Okay, so I'm gonna put you down now because you look so grumpy. Alright, lay down. Lay down. Be good boy. Be good boy. Lay down. So first we're going to talk about The Night Circus. And of course I originally picked this up because I was obsessed with Caravel, and I saw that this was like, everyone was talking about how this was like an adult fiction version of Caravel. So The Night Circus is focused on two magicians and they are competing magicians. They were basically pitted against each other since childhood. They both have different instructors who teach them very differently, and it's basically a bet between the instructors about who is going to be the superior magician. Of course, nothing can go smoothly, so they fall in love in the book, apparently, and it complicates everything. But the competition, only one of them can survive. So I'm curious how this book is going to go. I'm really excited about it. I've been excited about it, but I keep putting it off because I actually have read, you can see I actually have a bookmark in it. I have read the first 30 pages, and it was a while ago, and it was when I was in a book slump, and I haven't picked it up since. I know I'm going to probably like it. It's a competition, it's magic, but I didn't have a good experience when I first started it, so it's just in the back of my head that I'm reluctant to pick it up again, basically. But we're gonna do it. We're gonna read it this month. Hopefully it doesn't end up being a DNF, because that'll be really sad. This has been on my shelf for a really long time. This book is also over 500 pages, so it qualifies for Tome Topple. If I roll something that this qualifies for, I'll roll again. It'll count towards Tome Topple, but my goal is to have 2 books, two prompts for Tome Topple. So if I roll for this and this fits it, I'll just roll a 3rd time. So I have 2 separate books for Tome Topple, basically. So one of the other books is The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, which again I think I've had since Christmas last year or the year before. I don't remember when I got this. I think it was this past Christmas. The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue is about Addie LaRue, and she basically makes a deal with, I think it's like a devil character, and to escape a bad situation. And basically she becomes immortal, but no one remembers her. Basically people meet her and then forget her until someone doesn't. And that's kind of the whole point of the book, is she finally meets somebody who remembers her, and it's the journey getting to that point and basically what happens after. I actually have I know a lot of spoilers for this book, and that's one of the reasons I haven't read it yet, is because I like a good romance. I don't love tragic romances, and I kind of know the ending already, because when this came out, everyone was reading it, and I just saw a lot of spoilers online, and so I was actually not going to read it, but then I broke down and got it anyway. So I will try to get through this. I'm gonna very reluctantly pick this one up. I know it's gonna be like a fight to pick this one up when I pick it up, but I need to read it. This has been staring at me, and I need to read it. So the last one for Fairyloot this month is Strange the Dreamer, and this is another one that I've actually picked up before. Again, I think it was the same month that I picked up Night Circus, where I was in a really bad reading slump last year. So this is another one that I picked up, put down, and it's really hard for me to re-pick a book up, but I know I'm probably gonna like it, so I didn't unhaul it and I didn't call it a DNF. Especially because I think, again, I only got through about 30 pages and knew it wasn't the right time to read it. So my problem with this book is I have 2 copies of it. One is like the traditional paperback copy of Strange the Dreamer. I love this copy. I like reading paperbacks. And then my other copy is the fancy LitJoy edition. Yeah, I bought this fancy LitJoy edition without reading it, so I really better like it. So that's the cover for the fancy one in the back. I don't know which one to read. I'm probably gonna read this one because of Laini Taylor's like notes in the margins and notes at the end of chapters. I think that might keep me more motivated to read it. So Strange the Dreamer is about a orphan named Lazo Strange, and he becomes obsessed with this imaginary city of Weep that he finds out actually exists, and basically goes to travel and discover this city, and he meets all sorts of strange, amazing people in this city, and there's romance in it. That's pretty much all I know about this book. And then it's pretty dense, so I'm going into it pretty blind. I don't have a ton of spoilers for this one, which is cool. That's pretty much my entire synopsis for that, because I don't know anything else that happens in this book. This is another one that is over 500 pages, so same thing applies. If this fits for something, I'll roll again for another book. So technically I could actually get a few books done for Tome Topple, which is exciting. It's just going to take a while to read them. So the next book box is Illumicrate, and the theme for this month is Nothing But Thieves. And the fandoms for this month are Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, so that's already knocked down the Fairyloot one, which is cool. Gilded Wolves and The City of Brass. So I do plan to read Gilded Wolves, however I do not own it, so therefore I'm not going to count it in this book list. Again, I'm not trying to buy any more books currently, so when I pick up that book, it is a book that is commonly put on fandom lists, so I'm sure it'll come back up. I do have City of Brass, and it's one that I've been waiting to read as well. This is another one that I've been struggling to pick up because, again, I don't know where I find all these spoilers, but I keep getting spoilers for stuff, and I know there's like a complicated relationship in this. I'm not a big fan when relationships change, so I like reading about, for the most part, a relationship that starts in the first book and stays the same in the third book. I don't like getting emotionally invested in a relationship and then it being destroyed. The only books I feel like where I think it's really well done is Sarah J. Maas books. I'm okay with those. I kind of got, like, you come to expect it. So I actually don't know that much about City of Brass besides what's on the inside cover. Basically all that I know about it is that a woman accidentally summons I think it's like a djinn. I don't know exactly how you say it. And I know it has a lot of political intrigue, and she basically is stuck dealing with this djinn the whole book. It's a terrible synopsis of the book, but honestly I could not tell you what this is about. I pretty much just got it because everyone loved it, and I really like the cover. Like, it's a beautiful cover. And it's a really cool fantasy book apparently, so, and I love fantasy, so I'm gonna read it. City of Brass, that's pretty much all I have to say about that. So for the Unplugged Young Adult book box, the theme is Inner Powers, and the fandoms are Ace of Spades, Jade Fire Gold, and For the Wolf. I've read Jade Fire Gold. I actually have 2 copies of it. I have not read Ace of Spades or For the Wolf, and I don't own either one of them, so they will not be on my TBR for this month. And then we have Owlcrate. Owlcrate's theme is Peek Behind the Curtain, and the fandoms for this month are Once Upon a Broken Heart, The Night Circus, Where Dreams Descend, Phantom of the Opera, and Moulin Rouge. So they actually have 2 movies in this. I've seen both. I love both of those movies. I have read Once Upon a Broken Heart. I really like that book. The Night Circus is already on my list, which is awesome. And Where Dreams Descend, I do own a copy actually from Owlcrate. So Where Dreams Descend, I've actually already started reading this. It's been on my list for a while, and I was really excited to start it. And it's definitely one that I definitely could see myself really liking. Again, this is one I actually don't know that much about. I want to go into this one blind. I think sometimes when I read synopses of books, it can either make me not want to read a book or get me too excited for it. So this one, I love the cover. I know it has to do with magicians, magic, and a circus type theme, so that's all I'm going to stick to knowing. I don't want to know anything else, and I know there's some sort of competition, I believe, taking place. So that's all I'm going to know about the book. I want to go into this blind. And I'm really excited. I think I've read the first like 10 pages and I'm already really excited about it. So that is my basic TBR currently. My TBR includes The Night Circus, Strange the Dreamer, Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, The City of Brass, and Where Dreams Descend. So I think that's a pretty good TBR. There's a lot of chunky books in there, so it's gonna take a while to finish them. I hope I finish them all in April. I have a pretty sparse schedule this month, unlike last month, so I should be able to get through a lot of books, which is exciting. So now we are going to roll for Tome Topple, which is actually really exciting. I've never picked a TBR this way where you just roll and pick prompts. One of my toxic traits for readathons is them giving you a bunch of prompts, and I have to read a book for each prompt, and they can't overlap. Like if there's 20 prompts, I'm reading 20 books. So that's why I don't do a lot of readathons, because I can't. I feel like I'm not finishing a readathon if I don't read for all the prompts, and it's a really bad toxic trait. But obviously there's no way I'm reading 20 books for Tome Topple. I can't read 20 books over 500 pages. But I like the idea of this. I am reluctant to pick up books that are really long, because I know I'm going to struggle getting through them, because I have such a hard time focusing a lot of times. Like, I'll pick up a book, read a chapter, put it down, do something else for 10 minutes, come back, pick it up, read 3 pages, put it down. So, big books are a struggle for me. I've read a lot of them. It just takes me a little while. So, I'm going to force myself to go out of my comfort zone and just pick a few books from this list. So, I have the list in front of me, and I'm just going to go ahead and roll for it. Cut to me rolling the dice. So, I rolled a 13 and a 16, and the prompt for 13 is read a tome that is centered on a romance. And I have a really easy one for that. I was actually hoping that I would roll that one, because I've been waiting to read this, and it is Court by Tracy Wolff. It is the 4th book in this Crave series. I've been putting it off because I have some feelings about the last book, so I just keep putting it off. And they're big books. I mean, they're pretty chunky, but their chapters are relatively short, so I can get through these really fast. So this is a tome that I can definitely get through pretty fast. This book is 688 pages, so I think that definitely qualifies for a tome. So yeah, Court. I'm actually not going to say anything about this book because it is the 4th book in a series. If I say anything about this book, it's going to be spoilers for the previous ones. So just know I'm going to be reading Court by Tracy Wolff. And I rolled 16, which is read a tome with your favorite cover. I stared at the bookshelf for a really long time for this one, because I knew which one I was going to pick, and I didn't want to pick it. And it's not only my favorite cover, it's my favorite spine on a book, it's my favorite sprayed edges on a book, and my favorite cover. So like, there's no competition for this one. But I'm terrified to read it because it's daunting. There are, like, you know how there's a few books on your shelves that you just, every once in a while you'll look at and you're just like, maybe next time. This is that book. The book is Empire of the Vampire by J. Kristoff. I am so excited to read this book, and I know I'm probably going to absolutely love it. But it's so big and it's so daunting to read that I'm just like, I'm terrified to start it. This is another book that's going to be a fight about when I'm gonna pick it up. 718 pages, so this is a chunk. We'll see how this one goes. This one may take me a while to read, but we'll see. The Empire of the Vampire is about a man who is like the last of his kind, who was sworn to protect humans from the vampires, because there's like a whole war going on with the vampires right now. So he gets trapped, and this is his story. The whole book is him basically telling his life story, which is a really neat way to write a book. It reminds me a little bit of the premise for Interview with a Vampire. I wonder if he read that and was like, oh, this is a pretty good premise. So I think it sounds really, really good. I'm really scared to read it. And he tends to write books that just gut you. Like, stab you, twist the knife, and then pull it out and watch you as you slowly bleed to death. That's like the best way I can describe J. Kristoff's books. So I'm going to mentally fortify myself and then pick this up and read this. So that is my TBR for this month. I got a lot of really good books, chunky books. I think it totals up at 7 books, I believe. Hold on, let me get the stack together. Yeah, so it's 7 books, and I'm sure I'm gonna read other books this month too. I always pick up books that aren't actually on my TBR because I just can't help myself. So here is the stack. Hopefully I don't drop it. This is heavy. Pretty good looking stack. All right, so that is my TBR for this month. Hopefully I get through them. Hopefully in my wrap up, you see all these books read. In my wrap up, I'll actually put a picture up of these books and basically check them off. So I'm really excited about that. I'm excited to read these books. Haven't been this excited for a reading month in a while, so hopefully it goes well. So I will see you guys in the next video. I may be doing a couple reviews for some books that full reviews for books that I read in March, but I gotta decide which ones I want to review because I had a lot. So like, subscribe, comment. I'd love to hear about which books that you liked, didn't like. Hopefully that doesn't dissuade me from reading them. But yeah, so I will see you in the next video.